Imagine you walk in a big market in Tehran. You want to buy bread. The price is very high, maybe even higher than yesterday. Prices for food and other important things change fast and often go up a lot. For many people, their salary buys less and less every month. It is hard for families to buy what they need to live. This situation seems strange because Iran is a country with a lot of oil. Iran is rich in oil. Selling oil should bring much money to the country and help its people. So, why do many people in Iran struggle to buy even basic things like bread? How can a nation with such wealth in oil be poor? This is a big question that needs answers. In the past, Iran was different. In the years before the late 1970s, Iran was becoming richer from its oil. The country was developing fast. People had more money to spend. Life was improving for many families. But compared to today, the economy is not doing well. If you look at how much people can buy with their money, the average person has less real income now than people did back in the 1970s. This is a large step backward for the economy over many years. How did this big change happen? The economy has faced many problems for a long time. Events like the revolution in 1979 and wars hurt the country. Also, sanctions from other countries have made things very difficult. Even having a lot of oil has caused problems for the economy. The value of Iran's money has fallen greatly. Many young people cannot find work. The government struggles with money issues. Also, powerful groups control parts of the economy. All these problems together create the difficult life many Iranians face today. We will learn about these important reasons in the following chapters. 2. A look at the past. Before 1979, Iran's economy was doing well. The country had large amounts of oil, and the money from selling this oil helped Iran develop rapidly. In the 1970s, life was improving for many people. The money earned per person in the country was increasing significantly. New buildings were constructed in cities, and a larger middle class began to emerge. This time felt like a period of progress and modernization for Iran. However, in 1979, a major change occurred. The Islamic Revolution took place, establishing a new political system and leadership. The new government brought different ideas for the country's economy, which affected businesses and international trade relations. Not long after the revolution, Iran entered into a long and devastating war with its neighbor, Iraq. This conflict started in the 1980s and lasted for 8 long years. The war caused widespread destruction across Iran, damaging factories, oil facilities, and many urban areas. It placed a heavy financial burden on the nation and seriously slowed down economic growth. Simultaneously, Iran's population experienced very rapid growth. In 1979, there were approximately 37 million Iranian citizens.
By the present day, this number has increased to over 90 million people. This fast population increase demanded that the country create many more jobs, provide more housing, and expand essential services like education and healthcare. The economy needed to grow strongly to support this growing population, but the damage from the war and the new government policies made this very challenging. In addition to these domestic issues, Iran started facing isolation from many international partners. Following certain events in 1979, countries, particularly the United States, began to impose economic penalties, known as sanctions, on Iran. These early sanctions made it difficult for Iran to sell its valuable oil on the global market and to import necessary goods. This period of being cut off from parts of the world economy started early in the new era and has continued in various forms since then. These significant events, the changes brought by the revolution, the costly long war, the rapid rise in population, and the beginning of international sanctions, created severe obstacles. They shifted Iran's path from the relative prosperity of the 1970s to a long phase of significant economic difficulties that persist. 3. The problem with sanctions. International sanctions are a big problem for Iran's economy. These rules, mainly from the United States, make it hard for Iran to trade easily with the world. Sanctions stop many kinds of business between Iran and other countries. Iranian banks cannot easily use the systems that move money around the world. This means it is very difficult for Iran to send money out or receive money from other countries. Companies in other countries are also afraid to do business with Iran because they might face problems. Iran sells oil to other countries to get money. This is very important for the government. But sanctions make selling oil much harder. After the year 2018, Iran's oil sales dropped a lot. Before this, Iran sold about 1.4 million barrels of oil every day. But by 2019, it could sell only about 500,000 barrels a day. This big drop in oil sales meant Iran earned much less foreign money. The amount of money from oil went down from about $65 billion in 2018 to only about $16 billion in 2020. This is a huge loss of income for the country. Iran needs foreign money, like United States dollars, to buy many things from other countries. These include important goods like machines for factories, materials for building, and even some types of medicine. Because of sanctions, getting these dollars is very hard. And even if Iran has the money, finding banks that will complete the transactions is difficult. This makes it expensive and slow for Iran to buy things from outside. Businesses inside Iran that need parts or materials from abroad struggle. The cost of these imported goods goes up a lot. This means prices for many things that people buy, from cars to food to medicine, get much higher in the shops. Iran tries to find different ways to trade, like selling oil secretly or using complex methods to move money. But these ways are not easy, and they cost more. They cannot replace the normal ways of trading with the world. Sanctions are like a wall that limits Iran's economic activity. They are a constant difficulty. They do not completely stop the economy, but they slow it down a lot. They make every other problem the economy has, like high prices or finding jobs, much worse. Sanctions are a big reason why Iran's economy is weak today. 4. The oil curse. Many people think that having a lot of oil is a great help for a country. It can bring in much money. But sometimes having too much of a natural resource like oil can actually cause problems. Experts call this the resource curse. Iran has a lot of oil and gas. For a long time, the government got most of its money from selling oil. This made the country very dependent on oil prices. When oil prices were high, there was a lot of money. But when prices fell, the government had less money to spend. This easy money from oil also meant that other parts of the economy did not grow enough. Iran did not focus on building other industries or businesses.
Some neighboring countries with oil also used their money to start new things like tourism or finance. But Iran did not develop these areas as much. Being too dependent on oil meant the economy went up and down like a roller coaster, following oil prices. It also meant that when money came easily from oil, the government sometimes spent it without good plans. This big amount of money could also lead to corruption, where some people might use the oil money for themselves unfairly. The country failed to save enough oil money for hard times. This reliance on oil became a double-edged sword, providing money but also causing long-term money troubles and making the economy unstable. 5. The falling money. The money in Iran is called the rial. In the last 10 years, the value of the rial has gone down very, very much. Imagine, a few years ago, $1 cost about 40,000 rials. Today, $1 costs more than 500,000 rials. This means the rial has lost most of its value. When money loses its value like this, prices for things go up very fast. This is called high inflation. People see prices in shops climb every week. The cost of food like meat, cooking oil, and rice is much higher now. Medicine costs more too because many goods are bought from other countries using dollars. This high inflation hurts ordinary people a lot. Their salaries do not go up as fast as prices, so their money buys much less than before.
If someone saved money in reals, those savings are now worth very little. It is hard for families to buy what they need. Why did the real fall so much? One big reason is the international sanctions. Sanctions stop Iran from selling a lot of oil to other countries. This means Iran does not get enough foreign money, like dollars. Without dollars, the rial becomes weak. Another reason is the government. When the government needed money, it printed a lot of new rials. Putting too much money into the economy makes the money you already have worth less. Also, people became afraid that the rial would lose more value. So they quickly tried to buy dollars or gold instead of keeping rials. This made the rial even weaker. The government tried different things to fix the problem, but it was very hard. The main problems, like sanctions and the government needing money, put too much pressure on the rial. So, the rial fell, making everything expensive. High prices make people sell their rials, which makes the rial fall more. It is a difficult circle. This makes life very hard and shows how bad the economy is for many people in Iran. 6. No jobs for young people. Iran has many young people. About 2 out of every 3 Iranians are under 35 years old. This large young group should be a strong workforce for the country. But many of these young people cannot find work, or they have jobs that are not good enough. A growing number also want to leave the country to find a better life. The official numbers for people without jobs look low, about 8 or 9% recently. But this number does not show the whole picture. It is misleading. Millions of people of working age have stopped looking for jobs. They are discouraged because there are no jobs. When people stop looking, the official number goes down, but the real problem is still there. Less than half of adults are even trying to work or find work. The problem is very bad for young people specifically. More than 20% of young people have no job. For young women, it is even higher. People who finish university also have a hard time finding work. More than 15% of educated people are jobless. The economy does not have enough good jobs for them. Women find it especially difficult to get work. About 15% of women are unemployed. This is about double the rate for men. Also, very few women in Iran work or look for work, partly because of culture and partly because jobs are scarce. These numbers mean millions of young, educated Iranians are frustrated. They have studied and have skills, but they stay home or work in simple jobs like driving taxis just to earn some money. This is like wasting talent. Many things stop new jobs from being made. The economy does not get enough money for new businesses. State-run companies often hire people based on who they know, not how good they are. Private businesses find it hard to grow. Ideas and new ways of working are also stopped. Because of this, many young Iranians see no good future for themselves in the country. A recent study showed that almost half of young people aged 18 to 29 would leave Iran if they could. This is a serious sign. It shows that many people have lost hope in the country's future. Not having jobs for young people is not just an economic issue. It is making social problems worse. It can lead to more crime and sadness. People may wait longer to get married and have children.
And it causes the brain drain. The country's smartest and most skilled people leave to find jobs and a future somewhere else. 7. The government's money troubles. The government in Iran often has problems with money. It spends a lot on different things. For example, it pays salaries to many people who work for the state. It also spends a lot of money on subsidies, which help make basic goods like fuel and bread cheaper for everyone. While popular, these subsidies are very expensive for the government's budget each year. However, the government does not always get enough income. The money it earns from selling oil is less now because of international issues. Also, the system for collecting taxes from people and businesses does not work well. Many parts of the economy are not officially counted, and some powerful groups do not pay the taxes they should. This means the government loses a large amount of money it needs. Because income is low and spending is high, the government often spends more money than it gets. This is called a budget deficit. To cover this deficit, the government sometimes prints more money. As we discussed in Chapter 5, printing too much money makes the country's money lose value quickly, leading to high inflation. The government also has to borrow money from banks inside Iran or use savings that were meant for the future. Trying to fix these budget problems is difficult and can cause anger among people. For example, a few years ago, the government tried to reduce the high cost of subsidies by making fuel prices higher. This caused large protests across the country because people were already finding life very hard. This shows that it is politically risky for the government to make needed changes to the budget. Money is also wasted through bad management and corruption. Officials have said that a significant amount of money that should come from taxes is not collected every year. This is partly because powerful groups avoid paying taxes. This lost money could be used for important public services like building schools or improving health care. However, it is hard for the government to make these powerful groups pay their fair share. These money troubles create a difficult cycle. Budget deficits lead to printing money and borrowing, which causes inflation.
High inflation makes life harder and can lead to more government spending on help for people, which increases the deficit again.
All these problems, from costly subsidies to lost taxes and corruption, weaken the government's finances and hurt the overall economy. 8. Who is in control? Who really controls the economy in Iran? It is not always the government that people vote for, like the president or parliament. There are other powerful groups that are not elected. These groups have a lot of power over businesses and money. One very important group is the Revolutionary Guard. This is a military group, but it also owns and runs many large companies. They work in oil, construction, communications, and other big parts of the economy. There are also large religious foundations, sometimes called bonyads. These also control big businesses. These groups often have special rules. Maybe they do not pay taxes like other businesses. They often get government jobs easily. This system makes things very difficult for normal private businesses. It is hard for them to compete with these big, powerful groups that have advantages. The rules are not always fair for everyone. This system also scares away foreign companies and investors. When people from other countries want to put money into Iran, they see that these powerful groups control so much. The rules are not clear and things can change quickly. This makes investors worried, so they often decide not to invest. So, who is in control? Much of the economy is controlled by these unelected, powerful groups, not just the government. This situation makes many of the problems we talked about even worse. It makes it hard to fight corruption because these groups are very strong. It makes it hard to create jobs for young people because new private businesses cannot grow easily. It makes it hard to fix the government's money problems or the country's currency value because these groups might stop changes that hurt their interests. All these problems, sanctions, depending too much on oil, the money losing value, no jobs, and the government's budget troubles are connected. And the way power is held by unelected groups makes it very difficult to find real solutions and make the economy better for everyone. It's a complicated picture of many problems working together. Considering everything, what do you think is the most important thing Iran needs to change to fix its economy? Let us know your thoughts.
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.